Chapter 31 The Garbage Army Territory is ranked first again. It's on 2 lists in one day. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How dare you lay the groundwork for a while, and then these people turned around and fancied the lord of the rubbish military unit that they stepped on. At this moment, looking at the World Communication Channel, the painting style has deviated. Lin Feng wanted to vomit blood. Hello. At the end of the day, no one is paying attention to me. No one wants to exchange wood and materials for meat resources with themselves. Now, looking at the World Communication Channel, the lords who have regarded the lords of the rubbish army as a role model for learning, Lin Feng didn't even have any doubts. If the lord of the rubbish unit suddenly jumps up and says he wants to exchange resources with other lords, there will be a lot of lords rushing to change with him. And just the next second, a piece of news that made Lin Feng vomit blood even more suddenly appeared on the World Communication Channel. Oh my god, another rubbish troop leader. Everyone, take a look at the leader level ranking list. The garbage troop leader is on the list again, ranking first again. Seeing this news, the lords who were still scrolling were shocked. Many people are in disbelief. What? The leader of the garbage unit is on the list again? It's really fake. Is the leader of the garbage unit so awesome? Go and have a look. Look at it. The garbage troop leader is the first again, the first general to lead an intermediate level village. Damn, that brother was right. The lord of the garbage army leader is the real boss. I just entered the world of lords and ranked first in both rankings. No matter what the final result is, this achievement is enough to brag about for a lifetime. It's true, I like garbage military leaders more and more. Should I say it or not, he really gave us the face of the lord who awakened the low-level arms. Boss, come and take a dip. Please take away knees. Boss, please say something. Even add a friend. Watch the information on the World Exchange Channel. Lin Feng couldn't sit still anymore, quickly switched the ranking list to get the ranking. Leader ranking, first place, junk unit leader, XXX, leader level, intermediate village. Second place, none yet. Jiang Yunling ranks first in the ranking list. The 6 characters junk unit leader are so eye-catching and dazzling. Fuck. Lin Feng's eyes darkened, and on the World Communication Channel, because of the garbage troop leader, he once again topped the leader level rankings. The lords once again had a heated discussion. As for Lin Feng, the 6th lord in the lord hierarchy, many people have forgotten about him. At the same time, in a dark mine, under the faint golden light of the novice protective shield, short figures were struggling to hold up the mining hoe in their hands. In the mine, there was a tinkling sound of knocking. Watch the ranking list refresh. The number 1 leader turned out to be that rubbish unit leader again. Jiang Yunling couldn't help but widen his eyes. Isn't it? That Mtlnovel turns out to be the lord of the rubbish army. Jiang Yunling looked in disbelief. Just after trading 1,000 units of materials with Mtlnovel, she was smart and guessed that the other party would definitely want to be the leader. Therefore, I have been paying attention to the refresh of the leader rankings, but I never thought about it. The first level leader turned out to be the leader of a garbage unit. Doesn't this mean that Mtlnovel, who he just traded with, is the mysterious lord of the garbage army leader? But, he was quite polite just now. Jiang Yunling murmured, you don't look like that kind of cold-blooded person. However, it's hard to say. These people are very good at pretending. Jiang Yunling, don't be fooled by his words and deeds. Jiang Yunling secretly warned herself. He may be doing this to confuse himself, get close to him, and then prostitute himself for free. Want to be here? Jiang Yunling took a deep breath and secretly clenched his fists, a pair of big eyes full of determination. She is already 15 years old, and she is not a little girl who doesn't understand anything. Absolutely, I will not be fooled by anyone's rhetoric. Jiang Yunling made up his mind, between myself and that Mtlnovel deal. Apart from the transaction, I will never say a word to him. If he uses sweet words to deceive you, you must not be fooled by his sweet words. And under a dark night sky, a muscular man was walking in the wild with his 3 thunder bears. Ranked first in the leader level, leader of a rubbish unit. Looking at the updated leaderboard, Chu Kuang was slightly startled, and then laughed loudly. What a formidable opponent. Chu Kuang glanced at his warehouse. At this time, in the warehouse, there are 1,025 units of meat, 900 units of wood and 670 units of wood, as well as varying amounts of beast skins, bones, teeth, tails and other materials. He shook his head slightly and sighed. It seems that we need to speed up. Chu Kuang directly adjusted the exchange ratio of meat and wood in his stall to a ratio of 1 to 1.5, adjust the exchange ratio of meat and wood to 0.8 to 1, then, he put the thick stick on his shoulder and patted Thunderbear's thigh. Guys! We have to work harder. There are already people, and the generals have taken the lead in upgrading the intermediate village. Roar! Thunder Bear roared. The figures of 1 man and 3 bears gradually disappeared in the night. At the same time, on the top of a strange and rugged mountain, 14 charming banshees with human heads and eagle bodies were standing on a dead tree. Their eyes were fixed on the grassland below the cliff, and their gazes were on the huge black shadows that passed by in the distant sky from time to time. The wooden house opposite the dead tree was emitting a gentle light. Under the light, a curvy figure was half leaning against the door of the wooden house, looking at the leader ranking list that had just been refreshed. Yao Shuiqin raised her slender and white arms, revealing her soft waist like a water snake, and gently lifted her hair hanging down from her forehead with her fingers. Her charming eyes narrowed slightly, and her red lips moved slightly. The leader of the trash army is really an interesting opponent. I'm really curious, what is your army? I wonder if your army can withstand the charm of the banshees if we meet again. In the dark abyss, the figure standing on the huge white bone dragon glanced at the changing ranking list lightly. There was no fluctuation in his eyes. Then, he continued to command the black dragon under him to kill the weak dark bats and ghouls here. On a barren mountain somewhere, 4 rock giants about 3 meters tall were sitting in the sky. Behind the giants was a wooden house. Another rubbish army leader. A surprised voice came from the wooden house. Then, it turned into a chuckle. It's really strong. In one day, it was on the double list. But I don't know if your army can withstand the punch of the mountain giant. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 32, Upgrade the territory and unlock new buildings. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. In the misty forest, the forest under the night was completely shrouded in thick fog. Mo Fei's leadership is like being in a foggy world. And when General Mo Fei upgraded to an intermediate village, I saw the entire collar. A golden light fell. When the golden light dissipates, Mo Fei suddenly discovered, the cabin he was in had changed. No more houses made of wood. Instead, it became a house made of bricks, with an area nearly twice as large as before. Moreover, there was an upward staircase in the room. Not just houses, even the kitchen, tables and chairs and other furniture, they are all brand new, no longer the same shabby appearance as before. The bed that was originally placed in the room has disappeared. The room I am in has become the decoration of the living room. There was even a chandelier made of luminous crystals on the ceiling. And at this time, the reminder of the world rang in Mo Fei's mind. Congratulations, your leader has been upgraded to an intermediate village. The collar range is expanded to 1,000 meters. Please clean up the wild monsters within your territory in time to ensure the safety of your territory. Your lord's heart has been upgraded to level 1. HP increased to 2,000. Your leader has unlocked a new building, the Synthesis Workshop. Synthesis Workshop, low-level materials can be synthesized into high-level materials. P.S. You currently do not have a decomposition furnace built, please synthesize it with caution. Upgrade to a high-level village to unlock a new building, the decomposition furnace. Your leader has unlocked a new building, the blacksmith shop. P.S. The blacksmith shop can build any equipment, but equipment with a quality above the epic level requires blueprints. Also, a warm reminder, if possible, please try to find a lord with a forging craftsman to help build equipment of epic level or above. You may get unexpected gains. You can build another barracks. Your fountain of life can build another one. Your warehouse can be upgraded. Your barracks can be upgraded. Your fountain of life can be upgraded. Leader unlocked new buildings, blacksmith shop and synthesis workshop. Mtlnovel thought it was true, but he also looked a little confused. But what does it mean to remind you to clean up the wild monsters in the territory in time as mentioned just now? Could it be that the scope of the territory has been expanded, and there will be wild monsters in my territory? If wild monsters break into the Lord, it will be very dangerous for the Lord. And this time, Mtlnovel suddenly felt in his heart that a wild monster really seemed to appear in his territory. As a Lord, he has absolute control and perception rights over everything in his territory. At this time, Mtlnovel was sensing, there are indeed a few weak beasts coming into my territory. It's like they appeared out of thin air. This discovery made Mtlnovel feel shocked. Doesn't it mean that during the novice protection period, the Lord's Lord is invincible? How come there are wild monsters that can break into my territory? Could it be, upgrading the leader level caused my novice invincibility protection shield to become invalid? This is very dangerous news. Mtlnovel quickly opened the door. Come to the side. I saw that the range of my grass was 5 times larger than before, very spacious. However, even if the scope of the collar is expanded, the golden novice protective cover above the collar is still there. Seeing that the golden protective shield was still there, Mtlnovel couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, and at this time, Mtlnovel's eyes narrowed slightly. On the edge of the grass, there were 5 first-order night rats and 1 first-order green wolf, confronting their own ant army. Woo! Woo! The green wolf looked fiercely and let out a low roar. The 5 night rats huddled up in fear and trembled. One night rat wanted to turn around and run away, but it hit the novice protective shield on the edge of the collar and was bounced back. Seeing this scene, Mtlnovel was slightly startled. It seems that with the novice protective cover, the wild monsters cannot penetrate their own collar protective cover, but, how did they suddenly appear in their territory? After thinking about it, Mtlnovel could only think of one explanation. These wild monsters were originally supposed to be the wild monsters operating in front of him. After upgrading his own territory, the range of his territory suddenly expanded. The in front of the general was divided into his own territory. The woods where these wild monsters originally lived disappeared and turned into grass. As a result, they were directly exposed in their own collars. Soldiers, destroy the enemy in front of you. After thinking about it, Mtlnovel gave the order directly. Let your ant army attack these wild monsters, an army of more than 800,000 ants. What is this concept? At this time, the ant army launched an attack on these wild monsters. Only then did Mtlnovel understand what it means that quantitative changes lead to qualitative changes. Only then did I realize it deeply, how terrifying it would be when the number of your own ant tribe's troops accumulates to a certain level. I saw a dense swarm of ants swarming towards this poor wild monster like a tide. Even the green wolf, who acted very ferociously just now, at the moment when the ant army rushed towards them, his eyes could not help but become extremely terrified. Several wild monsters had nowhere to escape, and in an instant, they were drowned by the ant tide. They didn't have time to scream. It only took 5 seconds. When the ant tide dissipated, the grass was empty. The blue wolf and the night mouse, not even a bone was left. Looking at the empty grass, his eyes fell on the neatly arranged ant colony. At this moment, Mtlnovel felt his scalp tingling. Your ant tribe devoured a first-level night mouse. You get the same amount of energy points. Your energy points +1. +1. Your ant tribe devoured a first-level blue wolf. Your energy points +4, energy points +3. If it weren't for the reminder of the increase in energy points in his mind, Mtlnovel almost doubted whether there were really a few wild monsters here just now. One wild monster, a total of 18, energy points for Missouri Fei. Looking at the increased energy points on the Lord's panel, Mtlnovel was a little regretful. The ant colony just devoured 2 cleanly. Even the meat, fur, and other materials that can be collected from several wild monsters were not left for him. But then he thought, his ant tribe does not need to eat meat. Just eat the fountain of life to satisfy hunger and replenish the body. Compared with the troops of other lords, he has already taken a great advantage. What meat and fur materials are still expected? Besides, this is just a first-level wild monster. There is no good material on it. If you encounter high-level wild monsters in the future, you can see which parts of their bodies are the most valuable. If you need it, just let your ant tribe devour it. Scanning the now expanded territory, MO nodded with satisfaction. Such a large territory can accommodate 10 million ants. At the same time, MO also secretly warned himself in his heart, when you upgrade your territory, you will turn the environment around it into your territory. Before you upgrade your territory next time, you should be careful. Before you upgrade your territory, clear all the monsters near it. I was lucky today, and there were only a few first-level monsters around my territory. Next time, if a powerful monster suddenly appears in my territory, it will be a big trouble for me. Chapter 33, The New Building is Useless to You. Upgrading the barracks is the best way. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. At this time, a few more ants were produced outside the barracks. Their body size was half that of the dead ants, and they were clearly distinguished from the dead ants. Mo was not anxious to let them devour his breath. Instead, he opened the leader panel first. Look at the two buildings he just obtained. Building, Fusion Workshop, Construction. Construction requires 500 units of wood, 500 units of stone. Building, Blacksmith Shop. Construction requires 500 units of wood, 500 units of stone. Fusion Workshop. According to the introduction, it is a building for the leader to combine low-level materials into high-level materials. After all, low-level materials are also available in the early stage. Later, when the leader's level develops and the troops become stronger, low-level materials are basically useless. With this Fusion Workshop building, it can well avoid the overflow of low-level materials in the middle stage of the territory development. At the same time, the Fusion Workshop can also help some lords to combine some high-level materials that they have currently obtained or collected in the early stage of territory development, so that the lords can better develop their own territories. Of course, what Mo values is the fusion function of the Fusion Workshop. Because Mo does not consider the overflow of low-level materials at all. After all, under the devouring of the ants, no materials will be left. Therefore, even if Mo-Fei's territory develops to the middle stage of the territory, there will be no overflow of low-level materials. Now, the materials in the warehouse are not wood. Therefore, Mo-Fei was not in a hurry to build the workshop. Instead, he continued to check the next building to be built. Building, Blacksmith Shop. Build. Introduction. You use the resources you have collected, fur, teeth, crystal cores, bones and other materials, to build the equipment you need. Different equipment requires different materials. Please check it yourself after building. My troops are ants. I need to consider building this blacksmith shop for the time being. After reading the introduction of the blacksmith shop, Mo made a judgment. The blacksmith shop should be a very important building for other leaders. For example, some leaders have awakened troops such as farmers, archers, musketeers, etc. There are blacksmith shops, where these leaders can build or replace equipment for their own soldiers, thereby enhancing their combat power and killing stronger monsters. Or they can build some gathering equipment, such as machetes, hoes, ropes, etc., to speed up the efficiency of their own soldiers in collecting resources. Even some leaders with high-level soldiers, such as giants, griffins, elves and other soldiers, can also build equipment and wear them on their own soldiers to enhance their attack and defense capabilities. But Mo-Fei's soldiers are ants. Although there are many ants, they are very small. Even if they build equipment, they can't wear it. Even if they can wear it, with their small individuals and that little bit of load-bearing power, equipment is a burden to them. So, building a blacksmith shop, for now, does not bring any improvement to Mo and his own troops. Mo is not considering it for the time being. The two new buildings unlocked by upgrading the territory, the Fusion Workshop and the blacksmith shop, seem to be of no use to me at the moment. Mo was a little depressed. These two buildings are more or less useful to the leaders of other troops who have awakened. For example, the Fusion Workshop. Today, many leaders of high-level troops who have awakened have killed wild monsters. In addition to meat, they must have some materials collected from wild monsters. After building the Fusion Workshop, these low-level materials can be combined with high-level materials. Another blacksmith shop, for other leaders, the improvement is even greater. However, Mo seemed to need both of these buildings. However, for Mo there is good news. the resources needed to build the blacksmith shop and the joint workshop are not a small amount. Others are upgrading their territories. To build these 2 buildings, it will take some time to collect resources. Since I need to build these 2 buildings, it is equivalent to saving 2,000 resources. With the saved resources, I can build and upgrade other buildings in the territory one step ahead. For example, now, the 2 buildings of the military barracks and the Fountain of Life, the territory panel prompts that they can no longer be built and upgraded, so, Mtlnovel decided, next, all his resources will be used to build and upgrade these 2 buildings first. Coming to a grassland, Mtlnovel clicked on the territory building panel, building, Ant Barracks, build, introduction, building for producing the leader's troops, construction requirements, 500 units of wood, 500 units of stone. Building, Fountain of Life, build, introduction, a fountain of life that can heal the leader himself and the injuries of the troops under the leader. Depending on the severity of the injury, it consumes the same amount of spring water. In addition, it can not only heal injuries, but also eliminate fatigue. Construction requirements, 500 units of wood, 500 units of stone. Seeing the resources needed to build the barracks and the Fountain of Life, Mtlnovel put them down. The resources required are the same as those used to build a blacksmith shop and a fusion workshop. So, this also happens. When the resources accumulated since then are enough to build a joint workshop and a blacksmith shop, the resources are not enough to build the military barracks and the Fountain of Life. Mtlnovel then checked the resources needed to upgrade his Ant Barracks and Fountain of Life, building, Ant Barracks, level, 0 level, upgrade, production speed, 1000 pieces/min, ps, upgrade to the next level 1, the production speed will be accelerated, 1500 per minute, and there is a 10% probability that a high-level unit of the ant tribe will appear. Army ants. Resources required for upgrade, 1000 wood, 1000 stone. See the introduction of the upgraded ant barracks. Mtlnovel's eyes lit up slightly. The improvement of the military barracks is a bit huge. It's just an upgrade from level 0 to level 1, the production speed of the barracks is directly accelerated by 50%. This 50% production speed is for other industries. Perhaps the improvement is particularly obvious. After all, there are some leaders who have awakened high-level arms. At the end of the day, the barracks only produced 2 or 3 soldiers, increase the production speed by 50%, and at the end of the day, the number of soldiers will only increase by 1 or 2, but this 50% increase in production speed, for Mtlnovel, but it's the same. To know, Mtlnovel's barracks can produce 1000 ants in 1 minute. In 1 minute, Mtlnovel could produce 500 more ants. How many more ants will there be in 1 day? The number is probably calculated in tens of thousands. Not to mention, after upgrading the barracks, there is another benefit. Every time there is a production, there is a 10% probability that a high-level unit of the ant tribe will appear, army ants. For leaders who can produce several units a day and awaken high-level units, 10% probability, is a gamble on luck. With a dark face, it takes 2 or 3 days for a high-level soldier to appear. However, here in Mtlnovel, there is no existence at all. Produce 1,500 ants in 1 minute, Mtlnovel is completely guaranteed to produce ants every minute. The number of army ants will be at least more than 100. At the end of the day, the number of marching ants, a high-level unit of the ant tribe, is 20,000, Mtlnovel dares to say, but even if he is shameless, he can still exceed 10,000. Chapter 34 Jiang Yunling, that's too much. You keep trying to take advantage of me. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. I wonder what level of military type this army ant is. Mtlnovel thought to himself, in any case, they should be higher than the 0-level worker ants. The introduction said they are the high-level soldiers of the ant tribe. Just like their own immortal ants, army ants are one of the high-level units of the ant tribe. The final growth level of undead ants can reach level 3, the final growth level of the army ants should not be low. Certainly, no matter whether the growth level of the army ants is low or high, it actually doesn't matter to Mtlnovel, because as long as his ants devour it, they will advance. There is no upper limit for growth levels at all. As long as there are enough resources to devour, even a small army ant can grow into a demigod. Army ants. As soon as I heard the name, I knew it should run very fast. At this time, Mtlnovel had some expectations in his heart. When the number of army ants increases, can I hand over the task of transporting resources to them? The distance between the timber resources and their own territory is not close. If there are army ants responsible for transportation, the speed of collecting resources will be greatly accelerated. Think of this. In Mtlnovel's mind, the idea of prioritizing the construction and upgrading of troop camps became even stronger. But, it's a pity, there was only wood in Mtlnovel's warehouse, not wood. The ant barracks cannot be built yet. Mtlnovel just suppressed the idea of building an ant barracks for the time being. Turn to the Fountain of Life on the building panel. Architecture, Fountain of Life. Level 0, can be upgraded. Defense. Indestructible. Spring water reserve, 1000 units. Every 10 minutes, 1 unit of spring water is restored. P.S. The zero-level Fountain of Life can only treat limited injuries. Increasing the level of the Spring of Life can not only increase the spring water reserves, but also speed up the recovery speed of the spring water. The therapeutic effect of the spring water will be even better. P.S. Upgrade to the next level 1, and the spring water reserve of the Fountain of Life will increase to 2000 units. Spring water recovery speed is accelerated. Every 5 minutes, 1 unit of spring water is recovered. The therapeutic effect of spring water is greatly enhanced. Resources required for upgrade, 1000 wood, 1000 material. After the Fountain of Life is upgraded, the improvement effect is also great. Not only has the reserve doubled, the recovery time of the spring water has been shortened by half, and the therapeutic effect of the spring water has been greatly improved. The most important thing is, after upgrading the level of the Fountain of Life, the level of the spring water increases accordingly. This means that Mtlnovel's immortal ants can once again swallow the Fountain of Life. At this time, this means that even if Mtlnovel does not kill wild monsters to level up, he can still gain a large wave of energy points from the undead ants devouring the Fountain of Life. Just like upgrading military units and barracks, upgrading the Fountain of Life consumes a lot of wood, which is not a small sum of money. Requires 1000 units of wood. 1000 units of wood. But, Mtlnovel looked at it, compared with upgrading these two buildings, the improvement brought to the leader, it's totally worth consuming this little resource. After all, he found that there are still 39,000 units of wood in the warehouse. No shortage of wood at all. The only thing missing is materials. When thinking of material, Mtlnovel couldn't help but think of Jiang Yunling, whom he had just traded. I don't know, does Jiang Yunling still have any materials in stock? There should be more, right? Mtlnovel thought, although Mtlnovel felt that it was not good for him to always catch someone picking out wool. After all, today is the first day of entering the world of lords. Various resources, especially wood resources for upgrading the leader, are very scarce for all lords. Otherwise, would not be here now, and he would be the only one to upgrade the general to an intermediate village. However, there was nothing Mtlnovel could do. There are so many profiteers out there. This Jiang Yunling is quite honest. In his friend list, the only friend he has is Jiang Yunling. If Jiang Yunling doesn't get caught, he won't have anyone else to do it. Open the friends bar and click on Jiang Yunling's name. Mtlnovel, no. After sending the message, Jiang Yunling did not respond. After waiting for a while, Mtlnovel touched his nose. I thought to myself, maybe I have frightened the other person, right? Could it be that she guessed her purpose? Seeing that the barracks has produced another bunch of worker ants, Mtlnovel came to the edge of the pond of the Spring of Life, and let the ants that had just given birth come over to swallow his breath, and then swallow the Spring of Life. Thought secretly in his heart, material, it is the resource I lack most at the moment. Whether it is upgrading the leader, building a leader building, or upgrading the leader building, a lot of materials are needed. There is no material, you can't build or upgrade the barracks. If you can't build a barracks, then there's no point in ranking first at this level. It is better to rely on yourself than to rely on others. So, for Mtlnovel, the most urgent task is to first find a material resource of your own. And just when Mtlnovel was about to contact the ants in his forest, at this time, Mtlnovel suddenly found that there was a message from a friend on his Lord panel. at this time, in the dark mine, looking at her dwarves, they were still waving their pickaxes tirelessly in the dark night to mine wood. Jiang Yunling, the lord, cooked in person, brings some more meat that she had just exchanged, make a broth to replenish the dwarves' physical strength. After making the broth, Jiang Yunling served it bowl by bowl, invited her dwarves to come and eat. At this time, she saw a message from a friend on the Lord's panel. Jiang Yunling's friend, in fact, only had one person, it was Mo, who had just traded with her. Seeing this message, she hesitated slightly and clicked it. Mo, are you okay? Jiang Yunling replied vigilantly, what's the matter? She reminded herself secretly in her heart that no matter how sweet Mo's words were, she must not be fooled. Mo, actually, it's nothing. I just collected some more wood. Mo, didn't you trade me some wood just now? I thought of you when I collected some wood. We are in a cooperative relationship, so I am going to return the favor and exchange some of my wood for you. Jiang Yunling. Why does this sound weird? Jiang Yunling, but I don't have other resources to exchange wood for you. I only have wood. Mo, exchange wood is fine. Jiang Yunling, only then did I understand that this guy didn't exchange wood for himself, but wanted to exchange his own wood. Jiang Yunling directly exposed it without mercy. I think you just want to exchange wood with me. I didn't expect this honest man to be stupid. He responded so quickly. Mo smiled awkwardly. Yes, do you have any more weapons? I want to exchange some with you. Exchange again. Jiang Yunling said unhappily, I just exchanged all the weapons for you. Didn't you see that my army hasn't been upgraded yet? Mo was stunned, then he quickly opened the ranking list to check. Sure enough, only his army had been upgraded to the first level, the second place was still unavailable. At this time, the friend information flashed again. Mo clicked it. Jiang Yunling, you are the lord of the garbage army, right? Mo. How did you know? Jiang Yunling, nonsense, you just exchanged 1,000 units of weapons from me. What else are you going to do if you don't use it to upgrade the army? Among all the lords, you are the only one who has upgraded the army to the first level. This chick is not stupid. Mo, since you know my identity, I hope you can keep this secret. Jiang Yunling, don't worry, I'm not the kind of person who talks nonsense everywhere. However, I really have no wood. What I exchanged with you before was all the wood in my warehouse. I wanted to keep it for myself to upgrade the leader, but I exchanged it all for you. Seeing this message, Mo was ashamed. This chick is really an honest person. Mo didn't doubt Jiang Yunling's words at all. He just exchanged 2,000 wood for the other party. If the other party really had wood in his hand, he should have upgraded to a leader now, and now, on the leader ranking list, there is still only his name as a leader. Mo was a little touched and said sincerely, thank you. Jiang Yunling, you're welcome. This is a deal. Then he added, my dwarfs are still mining materials. If you want to exchange, wait until tomorrow. Exchange tomorrow? Mo can't wait that long. From now until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, there are still 10 hours, if his barracks don't build another one, how many ant soldiers can he produce in these 10 hours? At least 500,000. Moreover, Mo doesn't think that Jiang Yunling will really come to him to trade materials tomorrow, because, once the other party upgrades his territory tonight, he will find that more materials are needed to build territory buildings. Synthesis workshop, blacksmith shop, military barracks, fountain of life, which building does not need materials to build and upgrade? In this case, even if the other party has materials, is he willing to trade them with me? Mo, excuse me, if you have extra materials tomorrow, let's contact each other. Chapter 35 Other Lords, all the stones have been bought. Mo, I am always one step ahead of you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After sending the last message, Mo closed the chat interface with Jiang Yunling. No stones were traded from Jiang Yunling. Mo actually didn't blame the other party, on the contrary, others can trade with themselves for the stones used to upgrade their territory. Mo felt that he should actually be grateful to the other party, so, even if we take a step back, Jiang Yunling still has some stones in his hands and is unwilling to trade them to himself. MO can also understand, in MO Fei's opinion, this is only human nature. After all, your own territory needs development, but other people's territories don't need development. But building another ant barracks is for Mo Fei. At this time, there is no need to delay. Because, if we can build another ant barracks at this time, then from tonight to tomorrow morning, in these 10 hours, we can bring in as many as 50,000 ant soldiers. Therefore, even though there are many profiteers on the trading channel now, the exchange ratios for stone and wood are all on the high side. Mo Fei also feels that it is worth spending more resources at this time. Open the space trading channel. Mo Fei directly searched for stones. All stone trading booths, regardless of the proportion, will be redeemed by Mo Fei. The final cost was 18,000 units of wood. Mo Fei wiped out all the stone trading stalls and traded 4,000 units of stone. The exchange ratio of wood and stone is over 4 to 1. Although it hurts a bit, however, Mo Fei feels that this is worth it. Because compared to the 50,000 ant soldiers, a mere 18,000 units of wood is really nothing. After all, if 50,000 ant clan soldiers go there, they can collect 50,000 units of wood for Mo Fei. And, tomorrow morning, the number of soldiers from the Mo Fei ant tribe should be far less than 50,000. Because, at this time, Mo Fei exchanged, for 000 units of stone, the construction of the two buildings, the ant barracks and the fountain of life, only required 1,000 units of stone in total. There are 3,000 units of wood left. In addition to upgrading the two ant barracks to the first level, Mo Fei can also upgrade another fountain of life. Mo Fei clicked on the territory building at a location on the grassland. Building, ant barracks, can be built. Do you want to build it? /no. Mo Fei chose, you have built the ant barracks. Consumption of 500 units of wood and 500 units of stone. Please select the location of your ant tribe's barracks. Mo Fei placed a new barracks next to the original barracks. The reminders in my head continue to ring. The number of ant barracks you have built has reached the limit, 2 halves. To build more barracks, please upgrade the territory level. The two barracks are both at level 0. Mo Fei directly spent 2 wood and 2 stone to upgrade them all to the first level. In addition, there were 1,500 units of stone left, and Mo Fei built another fountain of life. Then, with the last unit of stone left, Mo Fei upgraded one of the fountains of life to the first level. After this operation, Mo Fei had 17,000 units of wood left in the warehouse, and all the stone was spent. The improvement it brings to the territory is huge. Building, ant barracks, level, first level, production speed, 1,500 pieces / ps. Your current barracks level is level 1, and there is a 10% chance of producing a high-level unit of the ant tribe, army ants. Architecture, fountain of life, level, first level, defense. Indestructible, spring water reserve, 2,000 units, spring water recovery speed, 1 unit of spring water is restored in 5 minutes. P.S. The level of your fountain of life has been upgraded to level 1, and the healing effect of the spring water has been greatly improved. Watching ants give birth one by one from the 2 ant barracks. Mo Fei showed a smile on his face. Now he can make a good calculation. From now to 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, 10 hours, 2 ant barracks can produce a total of 1.8 million ants. Then before he built and upgraded the ant barracks, a full 1.2 million more ants. As for the additional spring of life, Mo Fei doesn't have to worry about it for the time being. Since the spring water has been swallowed up by the ants, the spring water is not enough for the ants to evolve. Pity. Mo Fei felt a little regretful. Now all the stones at all the stone stalls have been bought up by themselves. We still need the last unit of stone to upgrade the other fountain of life to the first level. Otherwise, there would be 2 springs of life with a water reserve of 2,000 meters. However, it's not a big problem. Mo Fei knew it. From the territory, there are now 2 first-level barracks and a fountain of life. This is already a big step ahead of most lords. After all, the territory level ranking list is now, only the territory of the junk unit has been upgraded to the first level. Wait for others to upgrade their territory to level 1, you will find that building a synthesis workshop, building a blacksmith shop, building a barracks, and building a fountain of life all require a large amount of resources. When they collect the resources to build these buildings, I am already collecting resources and upgrading the territory. Always one step ahead of them. At this time, the ant barracks are steadily producing ants. Mtlnovel took a look and saw that it had now become a 2-story building. He wanted to go to the second floor to find out, came to the second floor. Mtlnovel was right, from the bedroom, there is now a room on the second floor. In addition, the second floor has a bathroom like the first floor. In addition, there is a large living room on the second floor that is exactly the same as the first floor, and outside the living room, there is a balcony. Mtlnovel came to the balcony and overlooked his territory. By the way, he opened the World Communication Channel. At this time, the World Communication Channel is not, fuck. Brothers, I have good news for everyone. If you have stones, go to the Space Trading Channel and sell them. Set the exchange ratio of stones to wood to 1:5. Sell as many as you can. Lord, are you crazy? What are you dreaming about? The exchange ratio of stones to wood is at most 1:3, and they have been sold at the stalls for a long time, but no one buys them. You still sell them at 1:5. Why don't you just rob them? I won't tell you more, just go to the Space Trading Channel and search for stones and you'll know. Seeing this mysterious information, many lords curiously entered the Space Trading Channel and searched for stones, and when they saw the results of the search, all the lords were shocked. They looked like they had seen a ghost. What the hell? Where are the stones? Why are all the stones gone? Is this true? I went to the Space Trading Channel at noon and saw some profiteers who were selling stones at ridiculous prices. The exchange rate between stone and wood was as high as 1:3, 1:4. There were 5 pages of stalls trading stones. I don't believe it either, but now, all the stones are really gone all of a sudden. One lord looked unhappy and said in disbelief, fuck, didn't someone buy all the stones? No way. There are more than 500 stone stalls, and there are at least 30 or 400 units of stone in total. Who is so generous? Chapter 36. Why does he have so much wood? Who is this boss? Please behave like a human being. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. At this time, when some lords heard that someone had swept away all the stones on the stone trading stalls on the Space Channel, they didn't believe it at all. Those stone stalls are all a group of profiteers. The exchange rate is ridiculously high. Do you know what it means to exchange 3,000 or 4,000 stones? That would cost at least more than 15,000 units of wood. This is the first day in the Lord world. Who can collect so much wood in a day? Besides, there is no way to use a lot of wood like this. Who would be willing to be a sucker, However, just when the lords raised doubts one by one, a lord who had just traded stone was looking at the wood in his warehouse at this time, looking very happy. He mined 200 units of stone today. Originally, he just wanted to put 50 units of stone to trade for some meat, and didn't want to trade for wood, so, the exchange ratio of stone to wood was set to 1:4. Who would have thought that just now? His 50 units of stone were sold out in seconds, and there were 200 more units of wood in the warehouse. Then, he didn't believe it. He put the 150 units of stone that he originally wanted to keep for upgrading his territory, and put it up again with a triad attitude. Who would have thought that it was sold out again? At this time, there were 800 more units of wood in his warehouse. Well, I tell you, instead of wasting your breath questioning, it's better to try it yourself. Since you don't believe it, there are still stone guys. Put your own stones on the Space Trading Channel and try it. Then you will know. I'm telling you, we are still short of wood to upgrade the territory. Hurry up and put your own stones on it. Set a higher trading ratio. If you miss this opportunity, you will miss it. Maybe the anonymous boss will buy enough stones and he will stop buying. What? You are also anonymous when you buy. Upstairs, you are also anonymous. I am also anonymous when I buy. Looking at this, Mtlnovel moved. He quickly opened the Space Trading Channel and entered the stone. Sure enough, many more stone trading stalls appeared. There were stalls, and 100 units of stone were put on them at once. Without hesitation, Mtlnovel directly spent another 4,500 units of wood and exchanged for a total of 1,000 units of stone. Then, the remaining Fountain of Life was also upgraded to the first level. At this time, on the interworld communication channel, many lords who were half believing and half doubting, with a try-and-see attitude, put their stones that were originally reserved for upgrading the territory on the space trading channel. In less than 3 seconds, many lords were shocked to find that the stones they put up were all bought in seconds. What the hell? It's true. I just put up 100 units of stone and set the wood exchange ratio to 1:4. In less than 3 seconds, it was bought by an anonymous buyer. I'm stupid, are you so arrogant? The person above, nonsense, I also hung stone, why didn't anyone buy it? I don't know, maybe they have bought enough. Maybe you are ugly and they don't want to buy you. Damn, I am handsome, I was also bought by you. Me too. This anonymous buyer is too awesome, right? Where did he get so much wood? The amount of wood he traded alone exceeded 15,000 units. I'm already numb, I worked hard all day, but I only collected 500 units of wood, and he collected 15,000 units of wood a day. Is this still a man? Upstairs, you are already very good. I collected 300 units of wood in a day, and 2 of my soldiers died. Don't say it, I found a nest of green wolves in the wood area, and I couldn't collect any at all. I, a farmer, could only go to the forest to pick up some mushrooms for dinner. No matter, I put all my remaining stones up there. The exchange rate for wood is 1:3. Maybe that big guy will see it and kill me again. At this time, on the wasteland, sitting in the wooden house, Lin Feng was watching the scene of the lords communicating on the screen. Doubtful, Lin Feng quickly opened the space trading channel. When he saw the space trading channel, the exchange rate of stone and wood for all stalls was 1:4. There is no stall that allows stone to be exchanged for meat. Lin Feng's eyes went dark again. All stone is designated to be exchanged for wood. What should I do then? Looking at the 600 units of wood and 500 units of meat in his warehouse, Lin Feng wanted to cry but had no tears. Who is so wicked that he raised the price of stone? Of course, tonight, Lin Feng is not the only one who wants to cry but has no tears. There are also many lords who are planning to exchange meat for stone and upgrade their territory. On the space trading channel, all the stalls that trade stone are designated to exchange for wood. They can't exchange meat. If they can't exchange meat, how can they upgrade their territory? At this time, Misty Forest, Mtlnovel's territory, after upgrading the Fountain of Life, on the balcony on the second floor, Mtlnovel opened the regional communication channel. This was actually the first time that Mtlnovel opened the regional communication channel today. Are you all from the Lord of the Misty Forest? Do you want to introduce each other, report your coordinates to each other, and form an alliance? After all, this Lord world is very dangerous. If we stick together, we will have a higher chance of survival. Upstairs, you are either a fool or a traitor. This is a Lord competition, do you think it's a game? Today I reported the coordinates of my own territory, and tomorrow I don't know who killed me if I was destroyed. This is the beginning, when all those who have crossed the Lord world and just awakened their arms to become lords exchanged some information. Mtlnovel shook his head. In this world where the strong prey on the weak, or in the same area, a fool would reveal the coordinates and name of his own territory, not to mention the dangerous monsters in the Misty Forest. Once the lords in this area develop each other, the first thing they will attack is the weaker territory next to them. Mtlnovel directly flipped through the latest news. It's all thick fog outside, you can't see your hand in front of you. Are you all staying in the territory? Do you want to go out to level up tonight? Upstairs, you are crazy, it's so foggy, you can't see anything outside, just send troops out. Are you sure it's not for nothing? I won't go out even if I die. Who knows if these thick fogs are poisonous besides blocking vision? Hey, is there no Dark Soldier Lord awakened in our area? Such a good opportunity, why don't you go out and take the opportunity to level up? Good opportunity, is there any Dark Soldier Lord awakened? willing to go out and test whether this fog is poisonous? Hey, to be honest, I think this thick fog should not be poisonous, otherwise wouldn't all the monsters in the forest be dead? Who knows, maybe the monsters here have long been accustomed to the thick fog and have developed resistance to the poison. Upstairs, maybe you can send a soldier out to try. With such a thick fog, I also think this is actually a good opportunity. We can't see clearly, but those monsters can see clearly. So, going out now may be safer than during the day. Fuck, that's easy to say. I have 22 archers in total. Why don't you send your soldiers out? Didn't you hear the monsters outside howling horribly? Going out at this time is no different from committing suicide. I have sent soldiers out to try. The thick fog is not poisonous. Do you believe him or Qin Shi Huang? Forget it. I don't dare to go out. I can sleep. Anyway, I collected 400 units of wood and 100 units of stone today. I'm so happy. Tomorrow, when I have more soldiers, I will work harder and I can upgrade. Fuck, who bought all the stone? Nick, I have enough wood. Meat can't be exchanged for stone. I'm vomiting blood. Boss above, how much meat do you have? There are 20 units of meat left. TSK, your 20 units of meat, even if you exchange them all, it's not enough. Can't I upgrade tomorrow? The key is that now all the stone trading stalls are designated for wood exchange, and the exchange rate is ridiculously high. I just exchanged meat for wood, 1,000 units of wood, and now I can only exchange for 250 units of stone. I'm so stupid. Wait a minute, stone is scarce now, maybe it will be better tomorrow. Look here, Mo-Fei, are you raising the price of stone yourself? Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 37, Ant Tribes Advanced Troop, Army Ants. Troop evolution determines growth level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shake his head, Mo-Fei was not entangled in the question of whether the price of stone should go up or not. Looking at the latest communication information on the regional communication channel, Mo-Fei pondered for a moment. In fact, he wanted to take advantage of the thick fog to send his ants out to collect a wave of wood resources. After all, there is a lot of wood left now. There are only 12,500 units of wood. Suddenly thinking of something, Mo-Fei smiled slightly. Psychic network, open, activate the mind net. Mo-Fei got in touch with the dead ants who were still outside their territory and tirelessly exploring the environment inside the forest. Soon, news came one after another about the dead ants that were exploring the forest at the moment. Dear Lord, apart from seeing clearly, there is nothing special about these thick fogs. We also smoked a lot of thick fog in the forest, but there was no discomfort at all. Got the news from the ants in the forest, Mo-Fei was immediately relieved. It seems, these thick fogs, apart from blocking the line of sight, are not poisonous. Think about it too, if these fogs are poisonous, it's not just their own ants. It is estimated that all the wild monsters in the forest have escaped. Since I sent the ants out to collect resources during the day, how could I still see wild monsters in the forest? I feel like I was too careful. Past, Mo-Fei didn't think there was anything wrong with it. This is a world where the jungle prevails, danger may appear at any time. The current more than 1 million dead ants are the foundation for self-development of territory. Be cautious, you should. Soldiers, you're doing great. Keep it up. Mo-Fei praised and ordered, please continue to explore and be sure to find the stone resources in the forest. Accepted, Lord. We will definitely complete the mission. The dead ant who was out came and responded. After receiving the message from the dead ant, Mo-Fei cut off the contact. He looked at the grass in front of him. More than 1 million dead ants are currently resting on the grass in the territory. Wait for the instructions given to them at any time. Mo-Fei stood up. Soldiers, now, we have a mission. A response came from the ant colony. Please give me your orders, Lord. MaleProtagonist gave an order to a group of 10,000 dead ants. Now, as a vanguard, your unit will try to find the wood resource area during the day. Yes, Lord. Take orders from MaleProtagonist. This army of 10,000 dead ants turned around and walked out of the territory, disappeared in the thick fog. And MaleProtagonist was not idle either. At the same time, let the ants newly produced in the barracks swallow their own breath and life source, while using the mind net, monitor the situation of the ants that are out. Make sure there are no accidents. The fog is indeed very thick, so thick that you can reach out and see your fingers. MaleProtagonist switched the perspective of the ant colony and saw only a vast expanse of white. Fortunately, MaleProtagonist's unit, the ant tribe, does not rely on sight to determine its path forward. Instead, they rely on the smell they leave behind during the day. Soon, this ant clan reached the solid wood resource area discovered during the day. Accurate. And the magic is. Although along the way, the roars of beasts in the thick fog stopped, and sometimes a huge black shadow flashed over the ants, however, they did not discover MaleProtagonist's ant tribe. Along the way, MaleProtagonist's ant colony is extremely safe. With the ant colony safely reaching the hardwood resource area, MaleProtagonist finally felt relieved. Soldiers, set off now. MaleProtagonist stood up and gave orders to the more than 1 million ants in front of him. Dajianma resource area, collect the wood back. More than 1 million dead ants turned around and set off in a mighty manner. Disappeared in the thick fog. Watching the ant army disappear, at this time, MaleProtagonist's eyes turned and landed on the 2 ant barracks in the distance. In the open space outside the barracks, at this time, there was an ant clan numbering about 1,000. They are 3 times larger than newly born ants. Their legs are longer, and the ant shells on their bodies are black and reddish, with a metallic sheen. Moreover, their front jaws are very large. The 2 pincers on the front jaw look sharp and hard. It's completely proportional to their bodies. Military type, Army Ants. Current level, Level 1. Final growth level, Level 3, has reached the upper limit of the potential of the unit. Load 0.3 units. Introduction, the first high-level unit of the ant tribe. Whether it is carrying weight or crawling, the strength of the marching ant far exceeds that of the ordinary ant tribe. Their characteristic is that the pincers on their front jaws are very sharp, hard, and have a certain amount of attack power. MaleProtagonist gathered the army ants in front of him, carefully measuring their appearance. A hint of joy can't help but appear in your eyes. Sure enough, is indeed the high-level unit of the ant tribe. Although army ants are 3 times larger than ordinary ants, they are not bloated at all, even if it is a dead ant that devours the spring of life and comes from the ordinary ant tribe. In front of them, they also pale in color. Their sharp and large front jaws, their black ant shells with a hint of red sheen, and an unmistakable cold temperament. It's like being a killer among the ants. Just given birth, it has not yet swallowed the fountain of life. The army ants have a load-bearing capacity of 0.3 units, which is more than the dead ants. Moreover, they are also Tier 3 troops. Wrong, very wrong. Looking at the attribute panel of the army ants, MaleProtagonist nodded repeatedly. If these army ants also swallow the spring of life, know that will enter the level of troops. Also, wait until there are more of them, perhaps, can just be used to transport resources. You can also hunt some wild monsters. Thinking about this, MaleProtagonist was also a little excited. Let these 1,000 army ants swallow their own breath, and their loyalty will all come to the end of absolute loyalty. MaleProtagonist quickly let them devour the life spring on the side. The fountain of life is now at the first level. Presumably after being devoured, the strength of the own ant colony, including the army ants, increased again. Excuse me, what does the reminder about the upper limit of the troop potential mean? Could it be that the highest level of the ants produced in our barracks only reaches the 3rd level? MaleProtagonist had some ideas. After checking the detailed introduction of the barracks, MaleProtagonist finally understood what this maximum potential of arms meant. The ants produced by their own barracks include the high-level ants of the ants. Their growth level depends on the growth level of the existing ant tribe troops. Simply put, that is, if your own ant tribe has not devoured life and transformed into a dead ant tribe, your arms will still be ants with a growth level of only 0, then, even if your own barracks produces army ants, a high-level unit of the ant tribe, the final growth level of the army ants will only be level 0, but, because the own ant tribe swallowed up the spring of life, it became a dead ant tribe. The final growth level of the dead ant unit I own is level 3. Therefore, the final growth level of the ants produced from the barracks will fluctuate between level 0 and level 3. Army ants are a high-level unit of the ant tribe. After they are produced, their final growth level is directly the same as that of dead ants, which is level 3. As for the ants produced by the barracks, they are the low-level arms of the ant tribe, and their final growth level is still 0 level. It seems that the progress of our ants directly determines the growth potential of the ants produced in our barracks. Look here, Mtlnovel already understands. So, if you want the barracks to produce high-level ant tribes with high growth levels, you must let the existing ant tribes engulf them and improve the growth level of the existing ant tribes. Chapter 38 Breaking the Shackles, Evolving Again, and Improving Abilities. Military Talent. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Different from all the territorial arms, because the infinite devouring evolution talent exists, Mtlnovel's ant tribe has broken the shackles of the zero-order troops and can grow infinitely, therefore, there is no final growth level for Mtlnovel's ant tribe. So, what is the growth level of Mtlnovel's current ant tribe? The growth level of the high-level ant tribe produced by Mtlnovel's ant tribe barracks can directly reach the growth level of the current ant tribe. And the awakened arms of other territorial arms have already determined their final growth level at the beginning. Even if their arms barracks produce high-level arms, the growth level of high-level arms will not be improved at all. The king level is the king level, and the emperor level is the emperor level, even for high-level troops, it is the same. So, next, I can't just focus on developing the leader level. After figuring this out, Mtlnovel thought to himself. I must find a way to make my ant tribe troops devour and evolve. Only when my ant tribe's growth level is raised, the barracks will produce high-level ants next, and the level will also be raised. At this time, 1 million undead ants are still on their way to the hardwood resources. For safety, Mtlnovel also specifically ordered them to slow down. In this way, they won't make too much noise when they are on the way, and when Mtlnovel sat by the fountain of life. While waiting for the ant army to go to the hardwood resources to collect wood, he looked at the World Communication Channel and saw the leaders exchanging information. At this time, a familiar reminder sound suddenly sounded in Mtlnovel's mind. Your army ants are devouring the fountain of life, energy points +1, energy points +1. Your army worker ants are devouring the fountain of life, energy points +1, energy points +1. Your army immortal ants are devouring the fountain of life. Your army worker ants are evolving. Your army immortal ants can be upgraded. Your army ants are evolving. Your energy points have reached 1000, and the current level has been reached. You can no longer obtain energy points. Please open the leader panel and upgrade the leader level. After the leader level is upgraded, continue to obtain energy points. Mtlnovel skillfully opened his own leader panel. Leader, Mtlnovel, strength, first level, upgrade plus, energy points, 1000/1000. Upgrade, Mtlnovel clicked the plus sign after upgrade, then, he saw the familiar golden light on his body again. After the golden light, the strength column on the leader panel has changed to, strength, second level. At the same time, Mtlnovel clearly felt that his strength has become stronger again. Waving his fist, Mtlnovel could feel a strong energy in his muscles. In his mind, the reminder of energy points +1 continued. Mtlnovel looked at his arms column, after, worker ants, undead ants, army ants, there is another type of soldier, undead army ants. Mtlnovel clicked on, undead army ants, type of soldier, undead army ants, ant tribe high-level soldier, mutation, talent, self-healing. Current level, level 1. Final growth level, level 4. Carrying capacity, 0.5 units. Introduction to the type of soldier. After swallowing the low-level fountain of life, the mutated high-level soldier of the ant tribe is actually more powerful than the high-level soldier of the ant tribe, the army ant. It has a sharp front jaw that can tear the enemy apart. P.S. After swallowing too much fountain of life, your army ant mutated and has the talent of self-healing. Self-healing, a faint breath of life is born in your army ant body. As long as the breath of life does not dissipate, your army ant will not die. Even if you are seriously injured, you can slowly recover. Your life force is very tenacious. Seeing the introduction of the undead army ants, Mo Fei's eyes lit up. Sure enough, his previous inference was correct. When a certain amount of the fountain of life is swallowed, your ant tribe can evolve again. At the same time, you can also turn the self-healing ability into your own military talent. Obviously, through the introduction, when the self-healing ability becomes the talent of the undead army ant, its self-healing effect will also be greatly improved. Mo Fei then checked his undead ant army. The self-healing ability of the undead ants has also become their talent. Not only that, there are quite a few undead ants. When the energy evolves into talent, that the level is also upgraded to the second level. Mo Fei took a look and found that the second level undead ants were obviously bigger than the first level undead ants. The size is basically the same as the first level undead marching ants. Mo Fei summoned an undead ant that evolved to the second level to himself. Army, undead ant, current level, second level, final growth level, third level, carrying weight, 0.5 unit. The load-bearing capacity of the second-level undead ants has been greatly increased. The load-bearing capacity has been directly increased from 0.1 units to 0.5 units. 2 second-level undead ants can help Mo Fei transport 1 unit of resources. However, now the undead ant's ability to carry weight is no longer a problem that Mo Fei needs to consider. The number of the ant army under Mo Fei's command has exceeded 1 million. By tomorrow morning, this number will reach a terrifying 3 million. So, Mo Fei needs to consider the question of how long it will take for the ants to collect solid wood resources. There are second-level immortal ants, an army of 3 million ants. In one trip, the amount of wood resources collected will exceed 300,000. This amount is very terrifying, but not bad. Get a warehouse with unlimited capacity. Mo Fei doesn't have to worry about collecting so many resources and not being able to load them in the warehouse. Look at the undead ant unit panel. At this time, Mo Fei still felt a little regretful in his heart. Although the ability of the immortal ant to swallow the fountain of life has evolved into a talent, its level has also been upgraded to the second level, but their final growth level has not improved, still stuck at level 3. On the contrary, the growth level is the third-level army ant. After devouring the fountain of life, she evolved into the immortal marching ant queen, and finally her growth level was raised to the 4th level. Mo Fei guessed, the reason why this happens, it's because he, the immortal ant, has already swallowed the fountain of life and evolved once before. Swallowing the fountain of life for the first time, the growth level of the immortal ant has been directly upgraded from level 0 to level 3. The improvement is huge. And now, the level of the fountain of life is just upgraded from level 0 to level 1. First, the spring water level is not much improved. The second is his own immortal ant, which has been devoured once before. Therefore, resulting in the second devouring, my undead ant growth level did not increase. Instead, it was the army ants that devoured the fountain of life for the first time. Evolution and mutation. At the same time, the growth level has been raised to the 4th level. It seems that my undead ants and undead army ants are going to evolve again. I'm afraid it's not enough just to swallow the fountain of life of a higher level. Mo Fei thought secretly. I have to find something else to devour. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 39 I need to find something to devour, thick fog. Mo Fei was overjoyed. Swallow it for me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mo Fei thought of the acid mud monster his dead ants encountered in the forest quagmire during the day. That place, this counts tomorrow as the leveling points for my ant army. at the same time, Mtlnovel also thought of those first-level green leaf snakes in the Jianmu resource area. Now, after swallowing the fountain of life again, Mtlnovel is among the dead ants. There are already a small number of dead ants, and they have been raised to the second level, become stronger. Dealing with those green leaf snakes should be easier than before, therefore, it seems wrong to use the first-level green leaf snakes in the solid wood resource area to level up your own dead marching ants and second-level dead ants. Thinking, at this time, Mtlnovel glanced out of the corner of his eye and suddenly saw thick fog outside the territory. My own ants can even swallow my own breath and the fountain of life. You know, can you swallow this thick fog? Mtlnovel's heart moved. Arriving at the edge of the territory, I looked at the thick fog outside through the golden novice protective shield. Just imagine if there was such a thick fog in your own territory. The novice protection period is over. Even if the beasts in the forest find their own territory, they may not dare to come in, right? On the contrary, if a wild beast or its lord discovers your territory, you must attack your territory. Relying on the barrier of these thick fogs, I can still lay an ambush in the territory and kill them all by surprise. Thinking of this, Mtlnovel's eyes lit up. This approach is indeed wrong. As the owner of the territory, everything in the territory escapes Mtlnovel's perception. Therefore, even if the territory is filled with thick fog, for Mtlnovel, it has no impact at all. But for any enemy who dares to invade their territory, this is a big deal. In this thick white fog, they are blind and can see nothing. No matter how many enemies come, there will only be one end. That means letting yourself be slaughtered. Say it, do it. At this moment, there are about hundreds of thousands of ants in the territory. Mtlnovel directly ordered all the ants to go out and swallow the thick fog. Soldiers, now I have a mission for you. Go outside the territory and inhale the thick fog. Inhale as much as you can. Mtlnovel ordered. Yes, Lord. Hundreds of thousands of ants came outside the territory, opened their front jaws, and began to suck in the thick fog. Mtlnovel glanced at the time. At this time, there is still 1 hour left. Until midnight, the 1 million ant army that went out to collect would finally arrive at the Jianmu resource area. Feel the messages coming from the web of the soul. Mtlnovel switched the perspective to the position of the ant army. Even though it was covered in thick fog, I could see everything. However, Mtlnovel still observes carefully. After the ant army collected for a while, nothing unusual happened. Only then did MaleProtagonist close the spiritual network. Immediately, opened the Lord ranking list to see if there was any change in the ranking list of lords. MaleProtagonist was surprised to find out, Lin Feng, who was previously ranked first, has dropped 2 places to 8th place. The natural disaster of the undead, which was originally ranked 10th, has now rushed to the position. The momentum is very fierce. Just after leveling the fountain of life, I allowed the ants to devour and evolve once. My current energy points are 146/10,000, still ranked 7th. It is worth noting, the rankings of the previous lords have also changed. For example, the Night God's territory, which was originally ranked 4th, is now ranked, taking the position of the Dragon territory. As for the Dragon territory, it fell to 4th place. God of the Night, Scourge of the Undead. Mtlnovel touched his chin, thoughtfully. The arms in these 2 territories should be dark arms. When night falls and dark things appear, it is a huge danger to its lord. But for those who have awakened the dark arms, it is an excellent opportunity to level up. High risks will also be accompanied by high returns. By the way, the only ones who go out to level up at night are the lords who have awakened the dark arms. Some lords who have awakened the powerful arms are probably taking advantage of the darkness to secretly level up. Looking at the Thunder Bear territory and the Holy Light territory, which were still ranked 1st and 2nd in the lord rankings, Mtlnovel's eyes flashed slightly. Some awakened lords of the top arms. At this moment, he should also be practicing in the dark. However, compared to the lords who awakened the dark arms, they are more careful. Think of this. Mtlnovel also felt a little nervous in his heart. His own unit is the Ant tribe, the lowest unit in the world of lords. Although he has the SSSS level Infinite Swallowing Evolution talent and the SSS level Soul Web talent, but, compared with the high-level arms of these lords, the early development is still too slow. If you give yourself enough time to develop, Mtlnovel dares to say that when his ant troops grow up, they will be inferior to any high-level troops. But, now, what I lack most is time. The novice invincibility protection period for all lords is only 7 days. After 7 days, the territory's invincibility time ends. At that time, all lords will enter the Lord world formally. A real test is coming. My current territory level is already level 1. Territory buildings, military barracks and life fountains are all upgraded to level 1. Currently far ahead of other lords. Mtlnovel took a deep breath, but it's not enough. In 7 days, my territory level must be upgraded by at least 1 level. I need more to make up for the disadvantages of my ant tribe's low-level troops. At the same time, I also need to produce higher-level ant tribe troops to ensure the safety of my territory. Mtlnovel looked at his lord panel, territory level, intermediate village. P.S. Upgrading to the next level of advanced village requires resources, 10,000 units of wood and 10,000 units of stone. Advanced village, unlock new buildings, decomposition furnace, the number of military barracks is increased to 4, the number of life fountains is increased to 4. The level of all buildings in the territory can be raised to level 3. Advanced village, you can build 4 barracks. Mtlnovel's eyes lit up slightly. Now, with 2 level 1 barracks, the number of ants produced by his own barracks a day is 4.32 million. 4 barracks are equal to the number of his own ants, which is doubled compared to now. 8.4 million. A terrifying number close to 9 million. If the level of the 4 barracks is raised to level 3, I'm afraid that the number of ants will have to increase, and it will only reach 9 million. Chapter 40 finally found the stone resource area. Promoted to the 2nd level lord, Lin Feng was due. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. But, territory level upgrade to high-level villages, the resources required are not a small amount either. 20,000 resources are needed. Moreover, after upgrading to a high-level village, the construction and upgrading of buildings in the territory will cost a lot of resources. For Mtlnovel, this is a problem that needs to be solved. After all, he has no shortage of wood now, but only lacks wood resources, and at this time, Mtlnovel's heart suddenly moved and he received the message from the exploring ants. Lord, we have found a material resource. Finally found a source of materials. Mtlnovel looked surprised. It's so drowsy that my own ant clan gives me a pillow. Mtlnovel quickly opened the spiritual network and got in touch with the ants who had just sent back the message, and at the same time, in the wilderness at night, the territory is shrouded in a golden protective shield. In the wooden house, freshly fried pieces of meat were brought to the table. Lin Feng sat on a somewhat worn chair, because tonight, someone maliciously raised the price of materials. As a result, he hasn't traded any materials yet, and there is still a pile of meat in the warehouse. The territory is still at level 0. However, after a night of hitting a wall, at this time, Lin Feng was very open-minded. After all, just now on the World Communication Channel, he saw that many lords were trading meat for materials just like him. Therefore, the level of your own territory is level 0, and the territory of others is also level 0. Everyone is still on the same starting line. What's more, by eating this piece of meat, I can be upgraded to a 2nd level lord. Looking at the fried meat in front of him, Lin Feng had a smile on his face. He still has a lot of these excellent level meats in his warehouse. None were traded, because eating excellent level meat can increase energy points. So, just eat the piece of fried meat in front of you. He will be the first lord among the billions of lord players to upgrade to the 2nd level. The lord of the rubbish army territory still wants to compete with himself. What is he comparing himself to? Isn't it just because of his large number of low-level troops that he barely managed to reach the lord-level rankings? It was actually praised by those lords who had awakened low-level troops. He also serves as a role model. Lin Feng sneered disdainfully. Rubbish troops, no matter how many there are, they are still rubbish. Wait until tomorrow to increase the number of violent war elephants. I will put that garbage army territory far away from my own ranking. At that time, I will personally tear up the faith of those lords who have awakened low-level arms. Tell them what is the gap between high-level arms and low-level arms. Tell them that only those who have awakened high-level arms can be on the leader ranking list. Here, there is no place for low-level military lords. What level do you want to be ranked in front of yourself? Your energy points +1. Your current level of energy points is full. Please open the Lord panel and increase your Lord level. As your Lord level increases, you can continue to obtain energy points. When I eat fried pork, the reminder sounds in my mind. Lin Feng looked happy. Quickly open the Lord panel and increase your Lord level to the second level. Then, he elegantly picked up a handkerchief and wiped his hands. Then with a smile on his face, he clicked on the leader ranking list. 1 second, his eyes suddenly widened and a smile froze on his face. Lin Feng looked in disbelief and rubbed his eyes vigorously with his hands. His face gradually became ugly. I only saw it on the Lord level ranking list. His ranking fell instead of rising, and he dropped 2 places. Ranked 8th. And that garbage unit territory is still 7th, ranked above him. His previous position of number 1 was replaced by the natural disaster of the undead that originally ranked number 10. It's more than that. Lin Feng also paid attention. The Lord level of the garbage troop territory ranked above him has also been upgraded to the 2nd level at this moment. This guy has been practicing leveling all night. Impossible, he probably doesn't have many troops left. Misty Forest, MaleProtagonist territory. The ant tribe that was gathering to explore received news that they had found a resource area for materials. MaleProtagonist opened the spiritual network and switched his perspective to the ants who sent the message. There are 2 ants exploring the material resource area. Switch perspective. There was still a thick white fog all around, and nothing could be seen clearly, but MaleProtagonist could see that the feet of the 2 ant soldiers were just lumps. Species, granola, introduction. Ordinary rocks can be used to mine materials for building territories. Soldiers, you did a great job, MaleProtagonist said. Try to see if you can eat these heads. Take it, Lord. Point 2 immortal ants climbed onto the granite, opened their front jaws, and began to eat. However, it took me a long time to eat. You can only leave a faint mark on the granite and bite a little bit of powder. Lord, the head is very hard and we can't bite it. Point 2 immortal ant stopped and reported. Seeing this scene, MaleProtagonist also frowned slightly. The wood resource area has been found, but how to collect wood is a difficult problem. The building blacksmith shop in the territory should be able to make mining picks, which can be used to mine wood. However, the mining picks cannot be used by the ant soldiers themselves. After thinking about it, MaleProtagonist suddenly thought of his current ant army. There is one more high-level ant army. Army ants. Army ants are a 3rd-level army. After swallowing the fountain of life, they evolved into a 4th-level army, the undead army ants. Their front jaws are much sharper than those of the undead ants, and they are much larger. I wonder if the army ants can eat these wood. MaleProtagonist thought. He was very confident in his own army, the undead army ants. These wood are just ordinary wood. Even the immortal ants evolved from worker ants can leave traces of gnawing on the granite and bite off some powder. As a high-level ant tribe, the marching ants are even more no problem. Okay, stop, you stay here tonight and wait for the army to come tomorrow. MaleProtagonist gave orders to the 2 immortal ants. Retreat, Lord. The 2 immortal ants stopped. After searching for a long time, they found a crack in the rock and hid in it. MaleProtagonist cut off the connection with the 2 immortal ants. Then, through the network of the mind, he contacted other ants who were exploring the forest one by one, especially the ants hiding in the southwest of the territory, 10 kilometers away from the territory. In an unknown high-level wild monster territory, MaleProtagonist asked about their exploration in detail. However, there are some regrets. There was no ant tribe looking at the high-level monster, but as they explored, the territory of the high-level monster gradually became clear. In addition, in the territory of the high-level monster, some ants smelled some of the scent left by the high-level monster recently. And, there was another strange scent left by another equally powerful high-level monster. This discovery made MaleProtagonist alert again. Remember this important information silently in your heart. Another high-level monster appeared in the territory of this unknown high-level monster. There should be a hostile relationship between the 2, right? I wonder if they will fight. It would be best if both sides were injured in the fight. In this way, then MaleProtagonist laughed twice, and a slightly obscene smile appeared on his face. Window_tabula equals window_tabula .push mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target_type, mix.